In the game, doing our own takeoff. Fly masters of the AI. We taking flight. Spreading knowledge to the left and to the right. Future's here and we're the ones in control. Fly masters of the AI.
So there we go. Welcome to Neural Network News Podcast. Today we have the privilege of hosting Leonard, Lenny The Boss, Nesmith, a powerhouse in the realms of business and education. Lenny's journey from the streets of North Philadelphia to the heights of corporate success is a testament to his resilience and determination. With over 2 decades of experience of managing extensive teams and overseeing over $1 billion in accounts receivable, Lenny's business acumen is unparalleled. He has built an impressive real estate portfolio worth several $1 million, consisting of both long-term and short-term rentals, all while maintaining a demanding full-time job. Beyond his own financial success, Lenny is dedicated to empowering others through his Kids in Real Estate and Financial Literacy Academy, which educates students from 4th to 12th grade on financial literacy and real estate. His entrepreneurial spirit and commitment to education make him a true leader and mentor. Join us as we delve into the conversation on education, artificial intelligence, and Lenny's mission to inspire the next generation. Welcome to Neural Network News Podcast, Lenny.
Boom, boom. Hey, fellas, man. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. So why don't we jump right into this? What is the Kids Real Estate Financial Literacy Academy? Tell us about your education academy for what you're doing there. And later on, we'll probably have more questions.
Okay, cool. No problem. So it's called the Kids Real Estate and Financial Literacy Academy. Something that I'm really super proud of. You know, we're focused on kids between grades 4th through 12th. And, you know, I tell you a little bit about it, how it came about, and then I tell you a little bit about the program. So, you know, one day, man, I was sitting here in my office, as you can see, and I just always want to sit here and give back. And it started off with really giving back to my son. So my son, he's 11 years old, and I'm saying to myself, how can I start to take the knowledge that I have and, you know, impart this knowledge into my son, you know? And I'm thinking, and, you know, I'm thinking like, oh my God, you know, I'm my son's dad, I'm my son's father, his disciplinarian, his friend when his friend is not around. I'm, you know, his football coach in like 3 different leagues, you know, and I'm also a bag of affirmations. So my son is like totally 100% over me, right? And really not trying to hear what I have to say. But his friends all think that I'm cool. You know, he just don't as much. So I sat here and I wrote a question to the Lord. I said, Lord, should I teach the kids real estate? And I'm looking up because I put it on my vision board here, and I just left it there. So 2 months later, me and my son is riding down the street, and I have a bunch of money orders from a few tenants that moved in a couple of our buildings. And I'm like, son, add these money orders up for me so I can go to the bank, quickly deposit it, and we can be out of here. So when he was adding it up, I took a picture of him using my phone. I uploaded it up to social media, and I was like, you know what? Hey, guys, ladies, you know, any chance that you get, you should get your kid involved with your business. Look, I have my son adding up some money orders, you know, and left it be. So we went out, did our thing. I came back to social maybe some hours later, and I have like 10 to 15 messages, you know, saying, hey, I would love for my son to learn real estate. And I was like, oh, well, guess what?
That's cool.
The Lord just answered that question. And that was the birth of the Kids Real Estate and Financial Literacy Academy. So it's made up of 4 different pillars. And the first pillar, we cover mindset and confidence building, which, you know, I look at life as a journey, right? And I compare everything to a foundation, and I compare your journey to a house, because everybody's house is different. Some people got condos, some people got 2-bedroom homes, 5-bedroom homes, pools in the back, right? And that's just like everybody's life. Like some people, you know, got regular jobs, big career jobs, entrepreneurs, you know, doctors, lawyers, right? So, but regardless to what your house looked like, what your journey looked like, it all resides on the foundation, right?
Right.
And that foundation to me is mindset and confidence. So it was important to me to ensure that I put something into the program that builds off of that. Because as you guys know, we all real estate investors, but I'm not sure if all these kids, I like to call them young future leaders, are all going to be real estate investors, right? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know that for
Mm-hmm.
sure. So but I do know that I gotta give them the mindset piece. That's just gotta do. So the second thing is second pillar is entrepreneurship. So I teach them the two types of businesses, service and product. I teach them how to leverage other people's time. We actually build the business in class. We do some acting. So I got some actors in there. Some kids are owners, some kids are customers, some kids are employees. Fake money. I provide scripts for the kids, and we just have a whole bunch of fun doing that pillar. And then the third pillar is the financial literacy piece. So we cover credit because we all know that credit is a huge problem for this country.
Mm-hmm.
And I say the reason why is a lot of people just was not and still not educated on credit. So
Yeah.
teaching what credit is, how to use it, what it's about, obviously we're investors, how to leverage it, right? We teach them the difference between good debt versus bad debt, assets versus liabilities. And then the fourth pillar is the real estate investing piece, where we teach them, the ins and outs about real estate, teach them the terminology, we analyze a deal, and I make sure that whatever deal we analyze is not under $500,000, because it doesn't matter, like you guys know, if it's 700 grand or 1.2 or
Mm-hmm.
1.5. What matters is that you're able to analyze this deal. And I want them to know and normalize big numbers in their life, right?
Hmm.
And
Right.
then
Yeah.
we actually show them how to write goals and smart goals, I might add. And then we create a vision board in class. Then I graduate the kids with a certificate of completion. And on top of that, what I do is I work on their stage presence, because if you got any kids, you all know
Mm-hmm.
this, right? When your kid come home and you ask them, "Hey, what did you learn in school today?" They all say nothing, right? So I'm sure when these parents send their kids to me and they go come home and they ask me, "Oh, what did you learn in your class?" Yeah, nothing. So I make sure that they stand in front of their parents at the end, because during graduation you bring your parents, your siblings, your friends, and they go on stage. I kind of help them out with their stage presence, and they recite just a few things that they learned, throughout the program. And that's the program, man, right there.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's great.
That is impressive. So you're taking up education, financial education, which is of course the aspect uh, that is lacking in traditional schooling,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really cool. Our show is about artificial intelligence, and what you're doing, and education is ripe for disruption. Kids need the education, need the financial education and financial. Like you said, you have the pillars that you the four basics, the four pillars that you mentioned that you teach. That's awesome. How do you think? What role do you think AI has in the future of education? Let's focus on education, because we feel like education is gonna be changed
Mm-hmm.
or about to be changed because of artificial intelligence. How do you feel about it, and especially having the experience of being educated with the kids?
I got mixed feelings, man.
Tell us.
It's like, I think I love AI more for incorporating it in, like, your business, right? Like taking some of your business items and using AI to help basically take you from a level 4 to a level 6 or a level 7, and potentially without adding on any bodies, that add costs, right? So, and help with marketing and help with just a whole bunch of things from a business perspective. AI for education scares me a little bit. And the reason why is, at the end of the day, I believe it will make us smarter for that generation. But it's like, think about it. We all kind of above age, right? And it was one time we didn't used to have cell phones. And when we
Right.
didn't have cell phones, we actually had to remember someone's telephone number. You had like either a telephone book that you wrote it down, or you remembered it in your head, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, can you tell me one number that you know?
None. Yeah.
You remember? You don't remember anybody's numbers. You know what I mean? And we depend on technology so much, right? Like back then, you used to have to remember someone's number, go to the phone in the house and dial it, right? It wasn't no place to store the number outside of your little black book
Yeah.
Right.
that you had.
Right.
And kind of refer to that is like when, man, these cell phones came out and we lean on these cell phones because I tell you this now, if one of you leave your cell phone at home and you drive off 20 minutes away from your home and you say, oh my God, I don't have my cell phone, what happens?
That's right.
You turn it back around. I don't
Yeah.
care if you're going to be late to wherever you're going. You turn it back around. You're going to get that cell phone because we're so dependent on it. And I believe
I've done just
AI
that, yeah.
is going to be a form of just like I said, for the generation, it's going to help. It's going to be smart, but it kind of dumb us out just a little bit. It make us lazy. It removes a lot of the thinking, in my opinion, when you're using it, for the convenience. But for the business end of the stick, I really see super value for it. When people creating emails sequences and creating a marketing and helping out with even forming words and
Scripts,
paragraphs and things, the
exactly.
right
Yeah.
things to say and scripts and I see value, there, right? And but man, I just think from the education point, it's just gonna once again, make things. It's just like with math, right? Like, back with us, we used to have to show our math. We used to have to take a pencil and with a paper and long division that thing out, right?
Right.
And then
Show your
calculators
work.
came in, right? You have to show your work.
Yeah.
Now you got calculators and you can calculate something in the matter of 2 seconds, and it's just a different time, So I,
Mhm.
I think that's what it is. And I think you lose something, just like we're writing, like we got computers now. Nobody know how to write anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody
I'm losing
lost
my
the art
calligraphy.
of writing. Everybody lost I guarantee if one of you guys try to write each other a whole letter, like can't read this.
Oh,
Man, you better email me this or you
my
better
hand
type
gets
it out or
tired.
something like that. Yeah. So yeah, right. So it's things that get lost. But it's the way of the world, right? Like we live in the time where, technology is always going to be evolving and you have to move with it to a certain extent or you're going to get left behind.
Yeah, I keep telling that to so many people. Yeah. If you're not learning it now, you're going to be left behind.
I think what you're doing, I've seen some of your social media content and I've seen, like what you mentioned, the kids presenting in front of the class. I think the education is going to be that. Education is going to be someone like yourself, an educator, a teacher, putting that heart into the kids, into the young minds, and and the education is going to become the dialogue more because we can go to the computer or we can go to the calculator and make a 5 plus 3 or whatever the numbers are, right? But I think the education part is going to be the most precious component of it. It will be this human component of teaching one human to the other, to the young human, of the concepts.
So with kind of AI and education, do you have a lot of the kids or even the teachers, the people you're interacting, asking you like, how are you using AI, or what are they talking? What's the word on the street?
I actually tell a lot of my peers about AI,
Mhm.
and I try to tell them, hey, you got to start using it, just start little things like, I told a lady, I said, I used it once for not really knowing what to say to a person that they had a family member just passed away. And I
Mhm.
had a card. And I'm like, what in the world? You're writing this card. Usually my wife handled this part of the job. You know what I mean? But she was not around. So I had to take it up. And I'm like, I went to AI. I'm like, hey, AI, listen, this is what's going on. Like, help a brother out. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it did. I said, keep it short, keep it sweet, but make it emotionally touched. And I kind of wrote something And I'm like, if this helps, something like that. And this was kind of me testing out the AI model
Right.
Right.
early
Yeah.
on, and it spit it out something great. I was like, this I love this, right? And I took it and I wrote it in the card. You know what I mean? I'm like licking the envelope, all excited. Like, it's like you really not supposed to be that excited giving somebody a card going to a funeral. You know what I mean? But I was like, so thrilled that because this was early on when I first started experiencing
Hmm.
AI. And I just was like, wow, this tool really helped me out. Like this, I was in a jam. Y'all would have been
Right.
here for an hour and a half trying to think of something to,
Hmm.
to write in this card that was meaningful. You know what I mean? And AI really truly helped me out. And I was telling just a couple of my peers, a couple other parents on the football field, like, hey, you got to start just getting into the AI, and I just start giving them like little tips to
Right.
just start to get in,
Hmm.
but when it comes to the kids, like I'm not really using, and I might start using in the future, but I'm not using any AI for any of my content
Hmm.
of teaching, the
Right.
kids right now,
Hmm.
and like incorporating AI, like, hey guys, use this or use that. Because it's like my teaching style is not your conventional teacher, right?
Right.
Because when parents sign their kids up, they're not happy
Hmm.
usually. They're thinking, oh my God, you're signing me up to another school. So once they come to our academy, I have to show them that this is not school and it's not going to be school. So I do a few things in the beginning on the very first day when they come to show them this is not school. And then they realize quick, they get the laugh and joking, and I'm highly interactive with the kids. I have them standing up all the time, repeating things, talking, communicating, grouped up in the groups. We do all different types of challenges. I got them in there doing drum rolls. So it's a lot going
Right.
on all the time, which helps with retention. It makes it fun. And it makes the time go fast for them. They be there. Oh wow, look, 2.5 hours went past quick. Wow. And and we kind of go there. So I have not really incorporated AI with the student.
With your work environment, well, more along the lines of real estate and networking with AI, what have you been doing recently to incorporate AI into your
That's
workflows?
a good question. So I create sell pages, I create funnels, and with the copy, with the content,
Hmm.
I would write up some content, and then I was feed the AI with some information about my business and what I'm trying to do. And I sit here and say, hey, take this content and, write it in a manner that, is it can be emotionally connected to my audience, and make sure that, it's got the SEO behind it. And I feed them with a little information, and make the sales page as long as this with X amount of words,
Right.
and it's able to sit there and help out with that. Right.
Hmm.
So now it takes my copy, which truth be told is my copy is a little weak, if you really want the truth,
Yeah, I am not a linguist.
but yeah, we keep that between us, but it'll take my copy, and it take it and it say, okay, I see where you're going with this, with the additional information that I fed about what I'm trying to do, target audience, and all this good stuff, and it spits out some great copy. You read it, you tweak it up some more, to make sure that it fits what you're trying to do. And that's just one of the things that I used it for. I mean, I used it for create me some sync email
Sequences.
series,
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
know. Yeah. So I used it for that. I use AI. Man, I this ain't business related, but I just made like this looking back food again, right? I just made, this dish with risotto and scallops and
Mm-hmm.
mushrooms, and it was quick to get a recipe from them. So I'm like, hey, I'm looking for this risotto and scallop dish. Can you give me a recipe? Boom! It gave me a recipe. It gave me the ingredients I needed. It gave me everything in the readable format. So I just printed it out and I just went to the supermarket, got everything I needed. Already knew the prep time, what to cut, how to cut it, how long to cook it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was right there.
I love it. I
Wow.
haven't actually heard anybody use it like that yet.
Yeah.
That's cool. So was the recipe created by the AI, or was it just basically created a recipe for the risotto?
Yeah. So I told them I wanted to. This is what happened. Um, for Mother's Day, I took my mother out and I took my wife out the day before Mother's Day,
Mm-hmm.
Saturday. So we
Smart.
did that.
Smart.
But that Sunday we stayed home. But I said, hey, I cook for my wife. So I said, man, I saw maybe like months ago this risotto and scallop dish. So I saw it on TV. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what, that'd be great. So I just went to AI, say, hey, AI, I want to make a risotto and scallop dish. Like, what you got for me? I said something like that. And it gave me something. Then I said, can you give me the ingredients?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, can you tell me how, to cook it and make it? And said, here's what you need to buy from the market. Boom, 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 boom. It said, you need to cook this long, cook that this long, cook this long, do this, do that, do this, do that. It
Right.
was all laid out. I mean, it was perfect. And
Lenny, how'd it
and
come
the
out?
food came out, the
Nice.
food came out great.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yes.
That's nice. You're making us both hungry. We might be getting a little food, even though it is late already in California too.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
man. I'm telling you. So AI is not limited. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Again, another thing I use AI for. So my son had this math problem, and what happens is, it's on like a Google thing, and you have to insert the answer on the computer, and the computer tells you yes or no.
Hmm.
So my son did it, and the computer said this is not the right answer. So my son like, darn. So he did it again.
Hmm.
He's like, I'm coming up with the same answer. So he asked his mom, so she did it. It's like, oh yeah, this is the right answer. So she put it in. No, she came up with something else.
Hmm.
She
Mm-hmm.
put it
Yeah.
in. It said wrong answer. So I'm like, all right, now it's my turn. I did it. I came up with the same answer as my son.
Hmm.
I put it in, nothing. So I said, all right, you know what? Going to ask. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I went to ask AI. AI came up with the same answer as this. So my son, I said, take this to school and tell them we believe the answer is five, whatever.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
guess what? The computer had a glitch,
Hmm.
and it wouldn't accept the right answer. So, we use
Um,
AI to check our work, to
yeah.
check our math work. So that's three things right there, three totally different categories
Right.
Yeah.
that AI helped out in, obviously within seconds.
Lenny, let me ask you this: Do you have your kids? Do you have your kids use AI, for example, homework?
No. So
And how do you regulate it with your own children?
I tell my son he can't use the AI.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
I mean, I have to say that it's been easy in that matter. However, I am working on getting my son to use it. So he has not been as active in AI as I would like for him to be.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Hmm.
mean? Just playing. I don't care. I just want him to play around with it just to start getting accustomed to
You're right.
the engineering prompting, right? Because that's what it's all about.
That's right.
The problem is, garbage in, garbage out, so
Right.
you got to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you are prompting the machine the right way for it to provide you with some information back that's helpful.
Right.
So but it's a little challenge to get my son in, but it's kind of like a thin line, because at one point I'm saying no, 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 you can't use it, for this. And then I'm saying, okay, come on, come use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We believe here, and part of the reason why we started this project is to be at the pulse of this new tech, this new, relatively new tech. Where mainstream wise, we're 2 years into it, so it allows us to be on the cusp of it. We'll see what's going on with everything that's happening, so kind of be on the pulse of it. But also, we're learning that we all have to use this technology because those that are not, in my opinion, might be priced out or left out of that new disruption, that new technology that's happening right now. In my opinion, it's the future and it's going to disrupt everything. So you might as well be able to touch these tools and know and have experience with it.
Agreed. And that's the reason why I'm trying to get them involved. But I also want him to know how to
Right.
add.
And you don't want him to go to every homework and answer.
So, yeah, because it's real easy to pop a number in there, and you go get rid of, if you got 50 questions, you go done those 50 questions in 5 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then what did you learn? You know what I'm saying? So and obviously you can't use AI when you're sitting there taking a test.
Mhm.
So I'm working on that. If y'all guys got any pointers, please give me something. I think what I might try is give him like a fun assignment to do. Like he liked to play games, kind of, say, oh man, try to make a connection to what he's doing. Like, okay, son, you like playing this game? Look, if you go to this AI tool, when you ask the AI for, how to, beat this level 5, then you might get some pointers here that you can use in the game. So I think I might try to do something like that get him in on the lines of things that he likes to do. And once he's in, then kind of start to broaden that horizon,
Expand on that.
on, yeah. I
That's
just
very
came
cool.
up with that too.
There you go.
Yeah, AI is certainly a tool you can use for creating like fun exercises and how to incorporate new math problems, for example, or like situation math problems, like physics problems that are basic level, just thought processing. So AI can be an additional like teacher that is there to help parents as well.
Okay.
Right. You're right.
I wanted to put up something I've bookmarked. You asked me about, you were talking about specific ones. It was a post by Lex Friedman. So he uses GPTs for programming, learning, and planning, Grok for learning, funds, and free speech. He's talking about Elon's Grok. Gemini, which is a Google, working with huge text, and Claude, natural sounding conversations, and Perplexity for deep dive research. Lenny, thank you so much for making time for this late. It's past 11 your time, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yes, it is.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for telling us about the Academy. If you would, how do people find you? How do people find the Academy, or whatever you want to share? Whatever you want to share, like in terms of contact information, how do people find you?
Awesome. So you can we always putting out some content, so it's best to just enroll. So you can go to kidsrealestateacademy.com/enroll. If you want to follow me, I'm heavy on Facebook and IG.
Lenny, it was super good to see you. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for coming on
you.
again late at night.
Guys, for having me. I really appreciate it. It was cool. It was fun. Yep, definitely appreciate it.
It's good.
Thank you.
We greatly appreciate
Not a
it.
problem at all.
Yeah.
You guys are cool, so I appreciate you.
Listen up, it's the Masters of the AI, broadcasting live from our Masters of